Yeah.
Yep. Yes. I hear you. Can hear you. Good. Check 1, 2.
I hear you fine. Doing great.
I'm on the right.
I figured that. Yeah, we're ready.
You
Uh, Ro-
running live weather?
Robert, I think you just transmitting voice over us, not to YouTube. I don't hear you in YouTube. Just here in our Discord channel.
Sitting here talking. Yay. Talking to myself, as always. See?
There you go.
Man, I've been sitting here
Yeah, it's
talking the
working now.
whole time. Cass, it's all your fault, man. It's all your fault. It's your fault. I blame you. Nothing is working right. I'm just messing. Things happen. Jimmy, now that my mic is working, how's it going, my friend? Long time no see. How's that Mooney doing, man? You was on my mind the other day. I'm like, I need to check on Jimmy. The last time we talked, I know you was headed somewhere with the Mooney, and that was the last time I heard from you. Just got back from Texas. That's gorgeous. Love to hear it, man. And there's 70. So the clouds you see. So this is all default scenery. This like the mods that I was running, those are gone. I deleted those, and it hurts to the core. Because I really like them. But nonetheless, we're gonna make it do what it do. So yeah, this is all default. Oh man, that's good to hear, Jimmy. That is good to hear. So, all right, gears up, flap is up. So I've done some few changes in the sim, if you haven't noticed. I took away my iPad and created some physical gauges here. Added some more backlighting. Thanks to you with that amazing MOSFET board. I love that thing. Alright, so 7 hours to Texas from SoCal. Oh wow. How much you have left in the tanks after that flight? Oh, 11 hours from... You did 11 hours from Texas to Oregon? In the Mooney? Yeah, I appreciate it. Oh, okay. I was about to be like, dang, what were you burning, like 6 gallons an hour? You had that thing on economy mode. So let's get to the topic of discussion, shall we? Got stopped at Rock Springs, Wyoming, due to Wyoming. Gotta love Wyoming. Never cared for that state. So for those who have been paying close attention to my channel over the last week, you have noticed that not much have come out of it other than hopes and dreams, shall I say. So I've been having FS 2024 sitting on standby since the day of release, and my good buddy Cass said, hey, it's been long overdue, we need to do 2024. And you know, I'm like, you know what, it is time. And that was the whole reason as to why I did the whole physical gauges, 3D printing and all that, because once I said before, the Air Manager app doesn't work with FS 2024, at least not right now. And I don't know when they're going to.
There's a beta.
They already got a beta for the app?
Yeah, I read about it the other day.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to throw you off, but yeah.
No, that's fine, because if that's the case, then that might save me from making more gauges. I might just hold off then, and if I can keep my my JPI here, then I'm cool with that. I mean, I still like my physical gauges though, but thanks for letting me know. I normally keep up with that stuff in their Discord, but I haven't even looked in their Discord recently, so appreciate that. Hey, Cass. So I was like, you know what? Let's give this 2024 thing a go. So I loaded up 2024, did some optimizations, you know, checked everything, you know, did some practice rounds prior to the first stream. I'm like, okay, let's see how it goes. Things should be good. Got into the stream and it was a complete no. I'm talking like I couldn't even fly. And so, you know, it was a lot more. It was a lot to do with, I guess, OBS and FS 2024. I guess there's some issues that they have, but there's some people that's still streaming and recording with OBS and using FS 2024. So maybe it's just something on my end that I have to change for 2024. I don't know, but nonetheless, that first night was pretty rough. I mean, there were still binding issues that I didn't clear out. You know, I need the G3X. Hey, actually, Jimmy, there's guys already making the G3X. I can't remember what Discord I'm in, but once I find it, I'll send that to you. But yeah, they're making G3Xs though. So I don't even get my strobes on. So after that flight, you know, like I said, it was a complete disaster. Streaming was horrible. It froze up, locked up. Flight was just bad. I would hit I'm changing flaps and changing camera scenes, and you know, it's bringing the gear down. The next thing you know, this is coming loose all over the place. So I shut that down, and then me and some of the guys that was want to fly that night, we all was having some issues that night. So we took the opportunity for about an hour, I think, afterwards, and cleaned up the bindings, you know, learned some stuff, figured out, you know, how to get this thing up and running. So next day I said, well, let's try it again, because at that point things were working good. Cranked it up the next day. It was running fine until it was time to start going down the runway, and then she just locked up on me again. Same thing. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out, well, what in the Sam Hill is going on with this sim. I made sure all the bindings were cleared out. I'm optimized. All of my things, everything is up to date for the most part. Now, with respect to the sim update, I don't think I've done the sim update. Now, I don't know if y'all don't attack me, because I'm fresh with the 2024 stuff. Everything is totally different. So I know how in 2020, when you load in, it'll automatically, you have to update the system before you can enter. Now, I don't know if that's the same way with 2024, but So I don't know if I'm flying the new sim update 1 or if I'm in the sim update 2. I don't know. But what I do know is OBS and FS2024 don't like each other, at least in my setup. I don't know why. So end up shutting that one down. And I think after I shut the stream down, it was still good enough. Like, things started working out a little bit. I don't know if that was the second night or the third night. I think it was the second night. So we were still in, and so we decided to just go ahead and fly that flight plan. And I mean, she did good. I literally flew the touch and go and the final, and it did fine. But for some odd reason, every time I turn on OBS, there's a problem. So I got to do some research and find out, you know, what exactly is going on with that. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, since 2024 is just not happy right now, I'm gonna swap over to 2020. So day 3, and you know, I've had 2020 running smooth for the most part. I mean, you know, there's hiccups here and there, but that's to be expected. But for the most part, I don't have any issues with 2020. Well, on day 3, all hell broke loose, and 2020 did not want to do anything. Yeah, I was having the same issues. It was laggy, it was stuttery. I mean, it was almost as if like I'm trying to use a Pentium 2 processor to run this thing, y'all. Like, I'm like, what is going on with my sim? This cannot be happening. This cannot be happening. So, no bueno on day 3 of a stream, because now I can't even get 2020 to run. So I shut the stream down and I started doing some research, talking with a few guys in the background, trying to figure some things out. And now, mind you, in the process of doing 2024 and 2020, I always, before I do anything else, the first thing I do, if I'm having like lag issues or stutter issues, I shut everything down and I do a complete shader cache, DX cache cleanse. That's the first thing I do. 9 times out of 10, that fixes the problem. You know, it might have just been, you know, a dirty file that got in the midst somewhere, and the sim is causing the sim to act funny. But 9 times out of 10, doing that works. That didn't work. So I said, okay, well, let me back off on my settings, which I shouldn't have to, because I've never had to back off on my settings in 2020. It's always flown good. So I did that. That didn't work. So then I started doing some more digging, and somebody had said something in the lines of, mix that out a little bit more. A lot higher than I thought I am. There we go. Get some speed up. So somewhere I read that 2024, you can have issues if you're running a map mod. So I got to digging. I guess they was talking about the map enhancement mod. Now, I've been using map enhancement since day 1, and I've never had an issue with it. So I'm like, well, if I want to take a stab at this 2024 thing, then I need to just go ahead and clean up shop. So I deleted the map enhancement mod, which by doing so, also, I can't use it for 2020 either, right? So I'm already mad, and I'm thinking, okay, well, that might help. So I did that, and I also, what was the other thing I got rid of? Oh, I got rid of the NVIDIA app. A lot of people saying that they have a lot of problems with the NVIDIA app, but I never had a problem with it. But hey, they said it's a problem, so like my goal is to try to figure out what is the problem. I could always re-download those later, you know. I tried to load in 2024. She was still bugging, so I said, you know what, forget it. I'm past my patience with 24 right now. I've lost too much time, and I'm losing things that makes me happy in my sim setup. So I went ahead and put 2024 back in the box, and so we're back at 2020 now. For the most part, she's doing okay. She can perform better. You can't see it on the screen, but I can see it. I need to give y'all some more light too. That light is a little. Are y'all cool with the evening? Cause I got this live weather. So if y'all cool with it, I'll leave it alone. Get that off my screen though. If y'all want to. Hey Nate, how you doing? I think I'm back. Live tune, great, cool. Looks good. Hey Gabriel, we're flying down to Phoenix. We took out from Sedona. Is my music playing in the background? I can't remember.
No, it's not. I don't hear you.
Oh man, y'all, I need y'all to help me out, y'all. No, I'm just playing. I'll get it. Hold on. Gotta give y'all some tunes. We gotta have tunes when we have these combos. There we go.
Are you following the flight plan, or are you just at a certain heading?
No, I'm not on autopilot. I'm just following the magenta. I know I'm off, but I mean there's a crosswind too. I got a 19 knot crosswind, so it's pushing me crazy anyway. I'm just heading in the general direction.
Yeah, I'm just following you guys.
So who's off to my left? Is that you, Dragon? Cause I thought.
No, that's me.
I'm behind y'all.
Oh, okay. Cause I thought you was to the right of me before.
Joey actually
4-2.
crashed into a wall in the airport.
Yeah, my rudders weren't working. I had to restart.
Oh,
Okay.
you should have said something. I would have held up for you.
All good. I'll catch up.
I'm not going. I'm
Do you want me to wait
135.
for you?
You good? I'm coming.
So, yeah, so what I've done to get 2020 back to where it's at right now, like I said, I'm not running my map enhancement. I'm not running the NVIDIA app. The only reason why I was really using the NVIDIA app, honestly, was to run the GPU overclock. It's a subtle overclock, but, you know, any little extra boost is better than, you know, nothing, right? So that's the only reason why I like the app, just for that feature. Everything else, we don't care too much about. So I did my shader cache clean, DX cache, GL cache, you know, all of that good stuff. But then I also noticed that, well, I forgot in my mind, because I've been using the map enhancement mod for so long. And when you use the map enhancement mod, you have to turn off the cache in the sim. So when I started flying again, I'm like, why am I getting all this choppiness? And I'm like, so I flew around for like 45 minutes to an hour, and it for my setup, it only takes about 30 to 45 minutes before, you know, the cache loads in good and, you know, it smooths itself out. But for some odd reason, it was just jumpy and lag. I'm like, what in the world is going on? So I went to my settings and I was like, oh, that's right, I have cache turned off. So I turned cache back on, flew a few patterns, try to get that cache loaded back in, and I think it's still gonna take a little bit, just because it's been off from, you know, the sim side for so long. So I turned that on, and as far as my in-game settings, not much have changed. I still have everything on max. I was using FrameGen. FrameGen was working pretty good at one point. So I don't know, with all these changes and everything, it kind of threw it off. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not as smooth as I would like it for it to be. So I have FrameGen off, but I'm still running DLSS in quality mode. And yeah, everything else is to the max. So that's what's going on over here. I still have some bugs to figure out. Like I said, as y'all can see, I don't hide nothing. It just what you see is what you get. So by doing all of that, for whatever reason, you know, it threw a lot of my settings off. So I normally, my hat switch on my yoke, I normally use that to change camera angles, you know, for y'all to see. But for some odd reason, it only works when I have OBS actually up. So if I remember correctly, there's a setting within inside that app that allows it to, you know, stay on top and work even though it's minimized. So that's why we're just looking straight ahead tonight. So I gotta fix that. That's really about it. I think that's it for what's going on. Like I said, I will revisit 2024 at a later time. Right now, I don't want to mess with it. I need to mess with that off scene until I know for a fact, you know, it's actually doing what it's supposed to do, because it costs me too much time, and it caused me a lot of headaches, which there's a lot of things I don't like about 2024, and maybe I'm just coming from a place of madness and frustration. Maybe a little bit of that, and a little bit of, I really don't, there's a lot of things I just don't like of what they did. I mean, the sim is gorgeous, don't get me wrong, you know. It's a sight to see, but it's too much. Like, it is just way too much things that you have to do prior to even flying. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, why do I have to unbind I gotta unbind the whole encyclopedia before I can start having make sure my plane is flying correctly, so when I turn the yoke left, that my landing gear doesn't come down. Like, why do I have to go through all this? This is stupid, you know. So that's definitely thumbs down for me for 2024. Another thing, so 4.2 had taught me a little trick the other night, and that if you get hang time when you go to fly now, then you zoom all the way in and kind of put the plane like center of the screen, and then just like zoom out like a couple clicks on the mouse, and it's less scenery that the sim has to load in prior to actually getting you in the sim, which is cool. But why I gotta do all that? You know, like, why do they have to do so many drastic changes? Like, I understand it's a whole new sim, don't get me wrong, but why such a drastic, like, this is I should be able to just load in, click, this is where I want to depart from, hit fly, and be on my way. I don't care about the load-in time in a sense, because I understand there's a lot of information, but it's crazy. And then once we do get loaded in, then there's the other step of, I got to do my pre-flight. Are the plugs in or out the plane? I mean, I get the realism, don't get me wrong, but still, Now I gotta click Shift C, and then I gotta readjust my camera, and then it's like 25 different steps that you have to take before you. I just want to fly. I just want to get in and just fly. Why is that so hard? 2020, you get in, you fly. Now, of course, in the beginning when 2020 first came out, we had a boatload of issues. That's to be expected. I know 2024 is still fresh out the box. It's to be expected. But even when it's going to be running smooth, and I mean some people already have it running smooth, I still have to go through all of these steps. Now, luckily, once you do all the unbinding, you're pretty much good. You ain't got to deal with that no more. So, and I think I was talking with the guys the other night. Why didn't they have a, like, if you want to have that as a preset for, you know, certain people with game controllers or whatever. But at least have another profile that is blank that you can use from the gate. You know, why have to do all this extra stuff first? No, you just rebind your controls from start. I mean, you did it for 20. Yeah, well, it's totally different. It wasn't that serious though. I don't remember having to go through, having to unbind all of these things. Like, for instance, when I bought this alpha yoke for 2020, I didn't have to do nothing. I haven't unbinded anything from this yoke. Well, outside of the switches. Nope, I take that back. I don't even think I touched those because all of my stuff is ran through mobiflight, and mobiflight and 2020 systems don't talk to each other. But I think in 2024, mobiflight binds with in-game settings as well, because that's what was throwing me off too. Like, how in the world am I changing my flaps, but I can't remember exactly what was happening, but something else was happening. Like, this is crazy. This don't make any sense to me. And I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot of the things that I'm saying might be like, wham, cry me a river. I get it. But it's magnified to me when, even after doing all of that, I still can't fly the sim. So now it just makes me extra mad as to why I gotta do all this other stuff. Y'all know how it goes, you know? And what? Yeah, go ahead.
Just to let you know, it's the altimeter in Phoenix is 2979, and I believe we're going to the runway 25 left because the FBO is to the left on that runway.
25 left. 25 left it is.
You said 2979?
Yeah, 2-niter, decimal 7-niter.
Well, I'm still kind of flying a little blind. Only gauge I got running right now is just my airspeed. Like I said, I'm still waiting on my thing, which it was supposed to be in here already. It must have got hung up somewhere. My power supply. So right now I'm just running the airspeed just to keep mobiflight happy.
Do you think I'm going to need to get a power supply for like the limited amount of switches I'll be using?
Nah, you're just using switches. Arduinos can handle that. I got to get power supplies because I'm running all these stepper motors. But before I did all that, everything else been running off of mobiflight. I mean, off of the Arduino Megas. So right now I got 3 Megas running, and I got a Arduino Micro that is going to be used for the annunciator panel. Hey, Seth, how's it going? So Gabriel, so the power supply that I'm using well, all right. So I got a power supply that's anywhere from 0 to 24 volts that I can fine tune accordingly. I got that set to 12 volts because that's what I use to power the backlighting on everything, which runs off of 12 volts. So I'm getting a 5 volt power supply so that I could run that to the stepper motors for the gauges.
How many volts can the Arduinos handle? Like max?
It's like 5 volts.
Yeah, Arduinos are 5 and 3.3, but no more than 5.
So how'd you have it running on 12?
I didn't have them running on 12. I said so no, the backlighting aren't powered from the Arduinos.
Your amp draw is what it comes into play, I believe, when you are running too many steppers off of that 5 volts coming in.
Yeah, and that's what I figured. That's why I'm like, that's why I'm only running 1 gauge. I'm like, that's way too many, and it kept causing it to shut down. All right. I know all your tracks by heart. Yeah, Nate, I gotta if you're saying that, it's time for me to change up, and I need to add a new playlist. I just try to keep it. I try to keep it as clean as possible, you know, as far as YouTube goes, so they don't hit me with no copyright strike. So I just try to find all the free stuff I can and just kind of put it all into a mixtape and just let it run, you know. All right, gears.
Rob, where are you going?
Where are you turning?
Oh,
We're still 18 miles away from.
yeah.
Phoenix.
Disregard. I'm talking and doing what I do.
I just freaked out. I was like, what are you doing?
I was gonna dive too, man.
Nah.
I just sent it to 4,000 because I thought we were about to land.
Well, I mean, 4,000 still a good height to be at anyway at this point. See, I don't have everything working, so my whole thing is all off, you know? But y'all know I'm always good to be trying to land somewhere else anyway.
That's a knack, man.
I mean, we could have done a touch and go, but I'm already past the airport.
Ah, it's fine. So, yeah. That's about it.
You know that I'm doing my first stream today.
Yeah, I read that right before I climbed into the sim. How's it going so far?
I guess it's going good.
That's good. I'm gonna have to go back and take a look at it.
Well, basically explaining whatever you're saying about mobiflight and Flight Simulator 2024 in Spanish. So.
Okay. Cool. That's good to hear.
I mean, not everything, but
I really would like to get 2024 off the ground, man. That's just something that I'm gonna have to work in the background first before I bring it. I mean, I thought I had everything working right. It was working fine until I hit start stream, and then that's when things started falling apart.
It took me like 3 or 4 days to get everything, like with the bindings and everything, like right.
Well, I mean, even after the first night, after figuring out, you know, why things were acting weird because I still had things binded, getting that done, I'm like, okay, that's a big sign of relief. Now it's just getting the thing to fly and stream at the same time. So I don't know what the problem is, what makes that different than 2020. Maybe because That's server based, so that's more bandwidth being utilized along with OBS. But even with that, OBS is not sucking that much. I mean, I'm only pulling in what I got it set to like 8,000 kilobytes a second, so you know, just enough for some 1080p stuff, you know. So and I'm running the nvme.ssd encoder, which is from my understanding should be the best one at this point to use. You know, of course, it's optimized to the best of my ability. I mean, it might be a couple more tweaks that I could probably do that somebody know that I don't, but outside of that, it shouldn't be that big of an issue, you know.
How's the performance of like the actual sim, like FPS and stuff?
What, on 24?
Yeah.
Without OBS, when it decides it wants to load up, it actually doesn't do too bad. But the minute I turn on start stream, no, it says no.
Update 2 is going to bring a whole lot of fixes. I've seen a whole lot of good feedback on the changes they've implemented for both 2D and VR modes.
Yeah, the VR performance is way worse than just like playing on the monitor. Still.
It ran. I mean, I've got a pretty good system, but it ran pretty well for me, to be honest.
I get like 2018 FPS VR.
What are you running?
It's a CPU is an old i5. What the heck is it? I forget. It's from 2009, and I have a 3060 GPU.
Oh, it's a third gen system.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a i7 12700K soon, because when I build my sim, there's no way my CPU is gonna run that.
I would get that i7 and overclock the mess out of it if you can.
Yeah.
I've always worried about overclocking because I don't want to do it too much and then like kill it.
Well, no, that's why you just bench test it. I mean, if you can squeeze in the water cooler, that would definitely help.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, if you put an IO, it's gonna be really good because you're gonna keep the temps really low and it's gonna work better.
I need to get a new like CPU fan anyway, even if it's not water cooling, because mine is just like a cheap. It probably doesn't even keep it that.
It's out the box. The out the box.
It's just a regular. I don't even. It's just a regular fan. It doesn't seem very good.
Yeah, it's the one that came with the CPU, right?
Yeah.
But it was a pre-built PC that I've upgraded, but the CPU and cooler are still default, like from the pre-built.
Okay.
Hey, which one?
It was $800 when I got it before I upgraded and stuff.
Which runway we landed? I don't have all my stuff. I'm literally just out here chilling.
My nav, based on what we put in, is not going where you all are headed.
I'm turning. I was just setting up.
Yeah,
for...
you're actually turning right over there.
Yeah, I was just turning for final. That's all. KPHX. I just don't know which one. What runway we doing?
Take any of these runways that are parallel, so.
Left,
the first
center.
one on your left is gonna be the 25 left.
That's where we landed.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
And the FBO is gonna be on almost on the end of the runway.
Off to the left, and I'm assuming then, right?
Yeah, we have the west and south and east over there.
Okay. Well, I must say, even without my map enhancement, my 2020 still looks pretty good for default. All right, I need to slow her down. I'm coming in way too fast. Hold on, calm down, mama. I know. Temps are good. Turn those off. Get that off there. Come on. There's 157. Gears coming down. Once he gets the i7, the 3060 will be bottlenecking the system probably.
I did some research about that, and people are saying the 3060 and i7 were like a great pair. So I don't know. Well, not great, but they'll work.
Yeah, you'll just have to re-optimize your system.
Well, I have an old system. I have a i9-9900K and a 3070, and it runs fine, man.
Yeah, you know, every system is different. Dang, who was that speed demon to the runway? All I saw was a dark shadow come by me going 500. Down.
I think I'm gonna get a telephone number because I can't really tell which one is the runway and which one is what.
Turn to your left. Just turn to me. I'm the one that says the Pilot 125.
There's like 1,000 nameplates in front of me.
I have you in front of me.
It's the one all the way on the left.
Land between the white lights, not the blue lights. Alright, 90, gear down, flaps are down.
You got two 737s landing behind you.
Behind me?
Yeah.
Oh. I guess I'll land a little long then. Well, actually, we got a high-speed taxi, right? Or, yeah. Crosswind. Crosswind. Let's get her. Get her down and get her off.
You have a crosswind?
There was a little bit. It shifted.
I think he has live weather on, right?
Yeah, I got live weather.
Yeah, so do I, but I have a direct headwind right now.
Yeah, it shifted probably right, I'll say about 30 feet.
Yeah, actually it's doing that right now.
Hey, man, how's it going? Bubaso! How goes it? Oh, I understand that. They said attention birds on approach and I flew through a flock right at threshold. Oh, wow, that's crazy. I didn't hear anything about no birds. I don't know where FBO is at. Hold on. Matter of fact, yeah, I do. Let me see. Oh, stop. FBO, where are you? Cutter Aviation, Jackson Jet Center, South Cargo.
After the South Cargo, there's gonna be the apron.
Alright, I got it. I've heard they say caution bird activity on ATIS. Oh, you know, I've never heard that, but I've seen it before on other videos where they would call out, you could hear them saying, you know, birds in the near vicinity or something like that, and then next thing you know it, you're popping birds on approach. I haven't had that happen yet. That would be pretty cool. Because there's a few birds I like to pop anyway, like these birds walk around the city and act like they run stuff. Get on my nerves. Lock up the whole street for 15 minutes. Like a bunch of old people trying to cross the street. No disrespect to the elderly by any means, but just kind of playing a picture in your head. I was not expecting that this was that's pretty cool, man. I gotta find that. Like, I think me and Cass we was flying around somewhere last year, and we was in a location where there was supposed to be birds in the area. I mean, we did laps around this lake trying to find the birds, but never saw one. I think the only fauna I've ever seen was we flew we was up in some mountain somewhere, and we landed in this field, and it was just like a whole gang of bears just kind of walking around doing their thing. That was the only time I've seen fauna in the sim.
I've never seen any animals in 2020, but they're everywhere in 2024. It's actually an unrealistic amount.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Well, I can't even get the plane off the ground half the time in 24, let alone trying to see where. Wait, am I pet? This is it right here, right?
Yeah.
Jose.
Yeah.
Remember, I saw an elk next to the runway the other night.
Oh yeah, that's right. You, that was funny too. Like you just came out of nowhere, like, what in the world's going on? That's crazy.
He was hauling.
Almost every time I get in 2024, there's either a bear or a deer, like on the runway, just sitting there.
I see 1, 2. Where's 3? Where, Jose? Where are you at?
I'm right here. And,
He was behind me, I think.
yeah.
No, I see you. I see 4-2. Oh, there he is. I got you. Bonanzas.
And me.
Lighten up my screens. Very nice. Now, if only my cameras was working right, I would pan over left and right to show y'all all the strobe lights and everything. Even though strobe supposed to, matter of fact, strobe and landing lights supposed to be off during taxi, right?
Yeah.
The only time you turn
Stop
strobes
lights
on is on the runway and takeoff.
Well, when you're taxiing around the airport, you just need the nav lights, the runway lights, and the taxi lights. And when you're flying, you should have the strobe lights on, and below 10,000, you should have the landing lights on.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. Do we know when traffic injection will be implemented in SayIntentions? They are working on that. The last time I checked them out, I'm glad you said something. I need to look that up tonight and do some more thorough research on what's been going on. I've been trying to keep up on the best I can. Like I said, 2024 has kind of had me in a rut over the week, so I've kind of lost touch bases with my usual, up-to-date stuff. It depends. You need some type of anti-collision lights if you have a rotating beacon. That's cool. Okay, so as long as you have, from this, just me gathering from learning, watching YouTube videos and flying in the sim and all that good stuff. So I've always done it where during taxi, or as long as I'm on the ground, and I guess in a sense, beacon, nav, I have on. I'll turn beacon and nav on from the jump, and then those stay on. And then when it's time to taxi, the only light come on after that is just the taxi light. And then when it's time to take off and I'm entering the runway, landing light and strobes come on, and all those lights stay on minus taxi once the gear goes up. And then it's just vice versa. All the lights are on at landing, and then once I clear the runway, landing light and strobes go off. I've always done it that way, because that's when I
also your squawk.
Oh yeah, and your squawk. like, and this is something that I've learned with SayIntentions. I don't know how real it is. So if I'm just strictly VFR, like on 1200, then I don't turn transponder on altitude until I'm actually entering the runway. I leave it off or on standby on taxis. And then once I leave the runway, I turn it off after that.
Well, it's funny because in the States, some airports you are required to use your squawk on even when you're taxiing, even if it's BFR or IFR. And some others, you should have the squawk off on the taxiways. But in Mexico, you should always keep the squawk off, even if you're IFR or BFR. Only when you enter the runway, you turn on the squawk, and you turn it off when you get off of the runway.
Okay. So Jimmy says you need it all the time now with ADSB. Okay.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Okay. But that's only if you have ADSB installed on your aircraft, right? Not all aircraft has ADSB, right?
Yeah.
But I have it, so I need to have it on at all times then.
I got a different question. Once we get running, do I turn battery 1 and battery 2 off?
No.
No, you need your batteries.
They'll shut everything off.
You need ADSB in Class C. Ah, okay. So if you're in Charlie Airspace, then it's got to be on automatically. It doesn't really matter, even if you're just taxiing or just sitting on the ramp. And other times. Okay. Gotcha. Makes sense.
Wait, so you only turn the strobes on when you're taking off, flying, and on the runway after you land?
Yeah. So strobe shouldn't be on the ramp or on taxiways. Strobes is an anti-collision light. It's not.
The anti-collision light is the red one. The red beacon is the one you have always on when you're moving around.
Right.
And the strobes are turning on when you enter to the runway, and you're also obviously you're flying.
Yeah. So technically.
So it's strobes and landing. That's the only thing you turn off when you're like taxiing?
Yes.
Well, you keep the taxi light on, but the landing light's off.
The navs are always on?
Yeah, navs always are on.
So
I've seen some people turn them off if it's bright out like daytime. They
you
don't
need a
have the navs
beacon.
on.
Okay, so Jimmy is saying it's an either or situation. So you either need a beacon light on or you need your strobes on. One of the two needs to be on. Well,
Yeah.
okay, but not both. I don't know, because I watch a lot of bonanza guys, and VTEL guys, on YouTube, and so I'm always studying how they fly and their checklist versus I mean, the one that I have is actually a real checklist, honestly, that I found on the website somewhere, but that's how they've always done. I've always seen them. They don't turn strobe on until they hit the runway.
Yeah, there's another thing too. When you cross a runway, when you're going to another one, and you cross, let's say this time the 25 left, and you're going to the 25 right, you need to turn all the lights on when you cross the runway, and then shut it back off as soon as you hit the taxiway.
Gotcha. Yeah, I watched them do that too. That's if you're on an active runway or on any runway, all lights, you need to be as visible as possible when you touch a runway. Period. That's just how, and it just that's how I've embedded it into my head. Like when I'm touching the runway, every light on this plane needs to be on.
Yeah, because
that's why I added a beacon so I can move without the strobes on. Oh, that's nice, Jimmy. That is nice. Well, it is 11 for me, y'all. I wanted to do another leg, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm pretty tired. It's been a long day, and I gotta do it all over again tomorrow. There's no days off for me. I got so much stuff going on right now. Until I get everything caught up. I mean, y'all are more than welcome to continue on the journey, but I think me and the cardboard is we're gonna shut it down for the night. But I definitely,
Yeah, I was planning on getting off anyways.
I definitely enjoyed this little hop with y'all, man. It just felt good to get back in the air and hang out for a few minutes.
It's been 2 weeks for me, man.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been a while. The goal was to have some in this past week, but obviously that didn't work out. But like I said, for now, until y'all see me say 2024 anywhere, it'll be 2020 until I say that. So you don't have to ask me, you know, what we're flying in tonight. It's gonna be 2020 until further notice. And yeah, we just keep doing this. So I don't know exactly what we'll be doing Monday, but there are some things though that I want to bring up, but I'll do it off stream and I'll talk about it in the Discord. Nothing bad, but yeah, it's just conversation real quick. So that's all I got for y'all, man. Once again, I enjoyed the flight. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight on this last minute short flight. I know we're y'all used to 1.5 hour, 2 hour flights, but I ain't got nothing left in me. So that's all I got, man. Y'all boys have a good night. And for everybody in the chat, I appreciate y'all coming along and hanging out with me tonight. We'll get back into the swing of things starting next week. And I got some I got some things coming, which we'll talk more as the week go along, and we'll just take it from there. So y'all enjoyed this little small flight, small chat about my dislikes, my little vent about 2024. Hit that little heart at the bottom. Let me know y'all loving what y'all see and what y'all hear, and we'll keep this thing moving next week. I will not be streaming tomorrow night. Tomorrow's gonna be an off night for me. So we'll pick this thing back up Monday night. That's all I got. Everyone have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is Cardboard Sim.